deal with airplane peanuts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Legion of Skanks, everybody, live from SkankFest.
I'm so excited. I can't believe Lewis is going to fist fight Brendan Schaub on stage.
I expect this, and I'm on mushroom.
Come on, Joe.
Guys, I gotta be honest. I'm hard. Yeah.
90 of the world's best comedians and 3,000 diehard comedy fans all met in Las Vegas, Nevada last weekend for 3 days of the greatest, most unhinged comedy festival you can find anywhere on planet Earth. This video is a full recap of SkankFest 2023, including every highlight, every moment of drama, and exclusive interviews with the comedians themselves. This is the truth about SkankFest, starting off with the insane lineups of comedians at every single show. There's no other festival in the world that books this killer of a lineup. It sounds like this would be a given for any comedy festival, but every single person booked at SkankFest is legitimately hilarious, and there's so many of them. On the more famous side, you have guys like Mark Norman, Tim Dillon, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Ari Shaffir. But this festival is far from top-heavy. Everyone who's hitting the stage at SkankFest has earned the right to be there solely based on their ability to be funny. Unlike some other comedy festivals who from time to time put hitting their inclusion metrics above the jokes. Ian, SkankFest features over 90 different comedians. If you were to say who is the most underrated comedian at SkankFest, who would that be?
Oh my God, what a question. I don't know, dude. I love Brendan Sagalow so much.
Okay.
He's the fucking shit. His podcast is breaking up, but like a phoenix, he's gonna rise from the ashes, and I'm encouraging to focus on comedic rap. He's so good at freestyling.
Who would you say is the most underrated comic here?
Blake Hammond from Cincinnati. Blake Hammond's so funny, dude. He looks kind of like a little armadillo of a man, but his jokes are rock solid. He opened for Kanane, he opened for Norman in Cincinnati. Yeah, Blake's the most underrated guy here for sure.
Okay.
You've never heard of him?
No.
And your whole job is aggregating comedy content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blake's got a great special out by 4x3 Productions. I love Blake.
Okay, check out Blake. One of the most unique parts about SkankFest when compared to other festivals is that the comedians themselves are all very accessible. The entire festival takes place all in one venue, so everyone is together the entire time. And you start to make friends with strangers and other comedy fans after seeing them around a handful of times. Meeting so many comedians and Joke World subscribers all in one place felt unbelievable. Being at SkankFest really makes it feel like you're part of a larger community of comedy fans, and all the comedians are so nice and so easy to talk to. Even legends like Doug Stanhope are just walking around ready to crash an interview at a moment's notice. I didn't expect you to say that. Means
dude,
a lot.
I told my podcast producer I'm gonna go do an interview with Joke World, and he was like, yes, because like he knows what that means, man. So, oh good, Stanhope's here.
Here's the Twitter poll. Would you rather see Bert Kreischer finally put on a shirt or Sam Tallent put on a pair of pants with his grotesque legs? Like, you should be wearing those sleeves.
I'm wearing one, stupid.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gross. You have fucking open pustules that you have to hide. Hey, I'm a big fan of Sam Tallent and his book. Running the Light is, we were just talking last night, one of the best books ever written. And the follow-up. But the guy's got this thing where he can't just let go. I would let go of my vintage suits if he would just put on some trousers.
Don't make them in my size, bro.
Maybe you should change sizes.
The king.
That's hilarious. Doug Stanhope, nice to meet you.
This guy's Joke World.
I gotta go see Dr. Drew and just say, listen, based on the bloat of my head after 2.5 days of SkankFest, do I have a problem? We'll find out the answer after these commercial messages.
There's no commercials. It's for YouTube, you old bitch.
Try to fucking get some sponsorship for these. Oh,
This is
see,
usable.
now I'm canceled. All right, I said I'm canceled. I will suck every dick in this park.
Thanks to Doug Stanhope, we do have a quick sponsor of today's video, MyBookie. Las Vegas was filled with sports books, but none of them offered a 100% first deposit bonus like MyBookie, which basically means whatever amount of money you put in to bet with the first time, MyBookie will give you the same amount for free, only if you type in our promo code JKWRLD. I've had a rough start to the betting season so far, hammering the Bengals almost every single week, but even when you're losing, MyBookie makes it better. They at least give the option for live cash outs during the game, which maybe I'll take advantage of next time. They also offer in-game betting, online casinos, and easy to sign up and cash out systems. Again, that's promo code JKWRLD to claim your 100% cash bonus and support the channel while you're at it. Now back to the video. Directly after talking with us, Doug Stanhope went upstairs and chugged a cup of his own piss on the Dr. Drew show. Like we mentioned before, SkankFest takes place over the course of 3 days, with each day featuring over 14 hours of live comedy. The best chunk of stand-up I personally witnessed had to be Tim Dillon on Sunday night, where he came out on stage to do a 10-minute set and left with a standing ovation. People were lined up in the hallways trying to get a glimpse of the show throughout his entire set. Every single show is packed, standing room only, with even more people right outside the door, waiting for others to leave so they can finally enter the show. Every comedian gets a huge pop when they walk out on stage. The fans are so eager to hear good jokes all day, it's insane. Especially because every single person within a 10-mile radius of this festival is either on drugs, looking for drugs, aggressively binge drinking, deathly hungover, or a combination of those 4 options, including the comedians.
If SkankFest, if you could describe it as one drug, what would it be?
Oh, interesting. I think it would be some weird research chemical that you can only get off like a 53-year-old dude who lives down at the end of the cul-de-sac, or like a 15-year-old on the dark web. It's something that doesn't have a name. It just has like a molecule and like a binary code. It's euphoric. It's also very daunting. It sends you on this like wild, erratic thrill ride, because every fucking time I'm on stage, I want to prove that I'm funny, because there's so much expectation for me to be funny after last year. And then when you get off stage and it's just this like fucking violent come down, dude. I really don't think that there's a drug out there yet, besides like maybe adrenochrome.
One of the best parts about SkankFest is that it's not just traditional stand-up shows and live podcast recordings over and over and over. There's so much weird and fun stuff going on that you don't see at any other comedy festivals or comedy shows. Like the Naked Roast, the Midnight Circus Show, Ellis Mania, which included things like blind kickboxing, musical acts, or Carnival Combat's press conference between Louis J. Gomez and Tim Butterly, who will be fighting each other November 4th in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is an event I'll also be attending to report on for this channel. SkankFest was filled with these type of special events that involve comics and involve jokes, but are so uniquely tailored to this festival and this crowd's interests.
So the fans they're great, but they're a little crazy here at SkankFest. I feel like when everyone's coming up on stage and riffing, that's the first thing they're talking about is, well, what's the deal with these fans? What's the craziest thing you've seen so far this year or at other SkankFests in the past as far as a fan?
I can't speak to the craziest thing I've seen with a fan, but I can certainly say the craziest thing is this seems to be the legless capital of the world. It's like the second you lose your legs, they put you in a wheelchair without brakes and just push you to Vegas, dude. And I didn't know a side effect of meth is basket weaving with Palm Sunday leaves. Like, I don't get that, dude. It's not.
SkankFest is supposed to be the craziest party in all of comedy. You hear all about it online. What's the craziest thing that you've ever seen at any SkankFest?
So like the thing that most blew my mind, is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure.
A bunch of like very kind and sweet people who come up to you and they're like, I really don't want to bother you, but would you sign my book? Or like, I saw you in Kansas City and you were great. The expectations of this place is it's going to be a rolling chud factory where every guy is wearing a tap out shirt and their girlfriends all have black eyes. They're covering up with fucking mall makeup. But no, everyone's super sweet here and it totally blew any expectations I had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Like, I'm a happily married man. I'm not sniffing around late night. Like, I don't know. All these like crazy stories, like I'm not privy to them because I'm playing grab ass with Dan Soder or giving Ian Fidance a piggyback ride. Like, to be able to hang out with all these people that I barely see ever is so special.
As far as the biggest moments from the festival moving forward, the Fighter and the Kid live show was the most popular moment from SkankFest on the internet. Everyone was so curious to see how Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen finally at SkankFest would actually play out, especially after it almost didn't happen due to Brian's flight getting canceled in New York. Luckily, the event was rescheduled for a few hours later. Brian Callen was able to arrive on time, and the whole thing went relatively well. And the Fighter and the Kid crew definitely gained some respect from everyone in attendance. Brendan was owning up to jokes made at his expense instead of being defensive like people predicted. And really, the key moment where everyone loosened up and started to have a good time seemed to be when Lewis asked Brendan why everyone hates him so much. And someone from the crowd yelled out to Lewis, "You started it." The most popular moment around the actual festival has to be the Joe Joe DeRosa transgender handjob saga, which happened on the first show of the first day and was the talk of the fest from there on out. The official story of what happened changes every time you hear it, but the key details seem to be there was a transgender audience member at the Legion of Skanks broadcast who claimed they could suck their own dick on stage. So they sent Joe DeRosa into the bathroom to get her penis hard, and they never came back out. Almost every live show for the rest of the weekend featured at least one or two Joe DeRosa transgender handjob jokes, and honestly, he didn't seem too fazed by it, reinforcing that literally anything goes at SkankFest. Joe DeRosa and the Fighter and the Kid may have been amongst the most exciting parts of SkankFest, but the most disappointing moment from this entire weekend seems to be unanimous for almost everyone in attendance: the Shane Gillis no-show. Apparently, Shane not only had flight troubles, but was reportedly very sick and stuck in New York without a voice, which is definitely understandable for Shane, but sucks for anyone who bought a ticket and made this trip solely for a chance to see the young bull on stage.
Is everyone else said Shane Gillis?
Well, he's not here.
Oh yeah, whoops. So many fucking fat guys are disappointed that Shane's not here.
I heard someone fake announce that he was coming out next, and the crowd went nuts. And then some random, I don't know who it was, but someone just had to go out there after the crowd is so disappointed, and like, that sucks for that guy.
What a wicked thing to do.
Yeah.
For that fourth-year open micer from Memphis. Also, by the way, thank you to Dick's Last Resort for making a statue of me.
With the massive amounts of comedy events happening over the course of just 3 days, you'd think that the comedians would need to repeat material way more often throughout the 142 different shows. But most of the comics did a great job being aware that people may have just seen them on a different stage hours or minutes before. Almost every set started off by mixing in some crowd work or riffing about Las Vegas and the festival as a whole. The pure debauchery of this festival fits in perfectly with the vibe of Las Vegas. This was the 7th SkankFest of all time, and the 2nd year in a row it's taken place in Old Vegas on Fremont Street. There's always a chance SkankFest could return to Las Vegas one day, but for next year, it's already been confirmed that SkankFest 2024 will take place in Tampa, Florida.
What city would you think SkankFest would really prosper in next?
I don't know, man. I'm New York through and through. I say bring it back to where it started.
Yeah.
We need a SkankFest New York. It's bigger than ever. Fucking, we can find the venue. Let's fucking do it. Let's go. Let's take it back to the fucking start.
Pensacola, Florida, dude. If they could do this on the beach, or like maybe like in some like war-torn African like protectorate where there's literally no laws and we can like actually buy and sell people, you know? But in America, Pensacola, Florida would be great.
Awesome, Pensacola.
I love Pensacola, bro.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, dude, like no one's on the beach for like 10 months of the year, and you can just drink Yingling on the beach and like watch people suck each other off down the sand. It's very nice.
Sounds like a good time to me.
From a fan perspective, it was a lot of walking and standing. The first day you get a schedule like this, a pamphlet with all of the shows that are happening. There's usually 3 or 4 different things going on at once, so you look through the schedule and decide which shows you want to go to based on what looks best to you. However, the problem that often occurs is everyone wants to go to the same shows, and it creates a massive line even after the room hits capacity. There's always people waiting to go in as soon as other people come out just so they can go stand in the back. Seriously, there is so much standing. This problem did seem to slowly fade away throughout the weekend. I don't know if I just got better at learning how to navigate SkankFest or if people were slowly dying with each passing day. But either way, things got a lot smoother from start to finish. The late shows were always a bit lighter than midday because a huge portion of Skanks fans go super hard around noon and rarely make it to the midnight showings. The festival being super crowded was a cool thing, it just would have been nice to know what to expect beforehand. I even saw one dude carrying around his own lawn chair from show to show, which is by far the best SkankFest hack that I've seen. Attending live comedy is awesome, but watching stand-up and live podcasts for 10 to 12 hours on your feet the entire time isn't something anybody wants to do. What Lewis, Rebecca, and Christine have been able to build at SkankFest is unreal. It truly is the all-star game for comedy fans. This video was a massive review of the festival as a whole, but if you'd like to hear more about my personal experience at SkankFest, including which shows I ended up going to and my favorite moments, you can find that video on our second channel, WRLD, in a couple of days. We'll also be posting the full versions of our interviews with Ian Fidance and Sam Tallent somewhere soon. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this entire video, and please be sure to subscribe. It's completely free.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.